compare.
Now it's time for the second Pixar film to be nominated for Best Picture, Toy Story 3.
Oh, yes.
You've seen
More
Toy
of a-
Story 3, correct?
Yes, this will be the last one until Coco that I've seen.
Okay.
Very random.
It is pretty random, but it is
And another
a fabulous
Inception.
film anyway. But Toy Story 3, also a really great film, and I dare say this one, I mean, yeah, you can nominate for this one for Best Picture. I mean, this one is kind of worthy of that.
It's pretty good. I liked it. It was a little bit of a tearjerker, but not too bad.
So here's the thing about this film. You know about Toy Story 2 and how much tear-jerking there was in that film?
Not like this one.
Let's make a Toy Story 3, but this time, let's make it all about the sadness.
You're gonna cry.
Oh, you're
And
gonna
gonna cry now.
You're gonna cry, okay? But still, it is really good. Anyway, though, Woody. Let's just go into the plot, I guess. So
Go for
Andy
it.
is grown up. He's going to college. He hasn't played with his toys in forever, and
You're gonna join the fraternity. No, I'm just kidding.
he might as well. We'll probably see that. I'll explain that probably later on the podcast. But anyway, so he puts all the toys in, except for Woody, in a trash bag and attempts to put them in the attic, but they get mistaken for trash and they're sent off to the trash, and they escape and they go into a donation box for Sunnyside daycare or whatever, and Woody tags along to try to get him back. Barbie is also going along as well, which this other random character, I guess, which Barbie was established as a character in Toy Story 2, but she didn't come back with the toys. There's a bunch of Barbies that were just there for some reason, but in Toy Story 2. But this one is apparently I don't know, Andy's sister Cindy or something. I don't know. Cindy's toy or whatever that gets donated as well. They all find out that Sunnyside Daycare is the greatest place on earth because the kids will always play with them forever.
The bear.
Woody is like, oh, I'm going to get out of here because you guys need to appreciate Andy. And, yeah, so...
Not Hanks approved, huh?
What?
Not Tommy Hanks approved.
I guess not. But anyway, then the toys get played with very, very roughly by really young kids. Basically how toys would be played with by regular kids and not Andy, who was a very big nerd when it came to toys, let me tell you, okay? He would not play with toys like that. Kids would not play with toys like Andy does in these Toy Story films, okay? He's way too careful.
Sure.
And then Woody, hitches a ride with Bonnie, who is a very young child, and gets introduced to these other round of toys, and Bonnie plays with Woody, and not like that, kind folks. Don't take it like that.
Kind folks.
Kind folks. That's
come on, kind folks.
That's a little not comely kind there, kind folks. Anyway,
Maybe a little bit of a plop in the popper.
Anyway, though,
Popper.
you know how how Andy's toys were basically like a business, basically like a board. They had board meetings and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Bonnie's toys are more like a theatrical group.
I see.
No comment on that.
Well, a lot more Disney involvement, as you can tell, than Pixar.
No,
That's Pixar.
There's a lot of Pixar involvement. Pixar decided to do that. Differentiate the Bonnie side and the Andy side, so there's that. Anyway, though, the last third of this film is basically like a breakout film, basically just trying to get out of jail. with Lotso, you know?
Boneless the bear.
Yeah, exactly. Boneless the bear, indeed. And
The film's boneless.
the film's boneless, if you will. Yes. And yeah, so then they ultimately fail trying to get out of the daycare and go into the garbage and almost get incinerated, hold hands and all that, have to sit for a long time thinking, oh yeah, maybe the toys will in fact die. But, of course, this is Toy Story. This is Disney. This is Pixar. There is no way in hell that they're going to allow these toys to die. You know? They're probably going to say, oh yeah, this is the end of the trilogy. You know, these toys are going to die. We just got off of Up, you know, where a bunch of old people died in that film. So you were thinking, oh, well, these toys are definitely going to die. No.
Nope.
Of course not. So the aliens use the giant claw to get them out of there, of course. And they decide that they're going to be donated to... Andy decides to donate them to Bonnie. Even Woody. And Andy gets way too attached to his toys as a college kid. And they say so long, partner, and they just have a fun-filled time at Bonnie's house at the end. That's basically Toy Story 3.
Yeah, that's a good summary. Except Boneless the bear was bad. You probably did say that, but just to reiterate, he started out good, but he was a big bad purple bear after all.
Oh yes, he was.
He
wasn't so.
And then we have
he wasn't so hugging after
Latino
all.
Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear, let's go there. Something like that.
Yeah, Buzz. Throughout these films up to this point, they have to have him disillusioned with being a toy. So, Toy Story 1, he was disillusioned. Toy Story 2, there was another Buzz that was disillusioned. In this one, he gets reset to the factory setting where he turns Spanish Buzz, which again brings up a whole bunch of questions. Like, for instance, if they knew that Buzz was back to the factory setting, why didn't they reset him in the first Toy Story?
True.
That's like a plot hole. That's a plot hole, kind folks. It's a big plot hole. But movie's gonna movie, you know. Movie's got a movie.
Yep, plot hole's got a plot.
Plot hole's gonna plot. But anyway.
Plot holes. My bad. Yes.
Not pothole. It's a pothole in this film. I mean.
Could be.
Anyway, though, kind folks, that's it.
PS3.
It's a lot of emotions. Okay.
Yeah,
there's a lot of emotions in this film.
There were.
There is some levity to it, but it's not as prevalent as Toy Story 2, which I gotta say has a perfect balance in my eyes, you know. But
yeah,
I gotta say, when it hits, it really does hit, and there's not a lot of low points either, you know. There's not a ton of low points. There's just
true.
Does the escape really have to happen? Not necessarily like that, you know, but you know,
there were some parts in the daycare with the Lotso being the bad guy. It got a little dry. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. There are. But it is far beyond. It's still a fabulous film, and dare I say it, almost deserves to be nominated for Best Picture as well. So, in my eyes,
yeah,
I give it a 9 out of 10. And surprisingly enough, it's the first Toy Story film to not have 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It actually has a 99%. Which,
hello, Karen.
yeah, there's 4 reviews that are just like keeping it from being 100, which I'm just like, what the hell? But anyway,
Hey, good folks.
hold on. Pardon me. Anyway, son, what's your thoughts on Toy Story 3? And what
Great.
do you give it?
I think this one I will match The Incredibles with an 8.8.
Ah, I see. Why is that? Because of the dryness?
That, and I wanted Toy Story to make me feel great and not upset, you know?
It's about the nostalgia, though. It's about growing up.
I guess, but it was a little too much sad parts in it for me.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, this is going to start a trend.
Yeah, like I said, last Pixar film I saw